Another episode in the A.N.I series, where today we will be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Invisible Woman from the Fantastic Four First Steps. Now, again, as I said in the previous review, I haven't quite seen the film yet. As of this time of the recording, it should be out in theaters. Again, my expectations are pretty high. I hope this film turns out great. The cast is, they look great, I honestly think. And the costumes, again, very nice. So with that, let's get right down into it. So taking a look at the figure out of the package, I don't actually show the packages these figures come with, so if you want to see that, just comment down below. I normally just immediately take them out along with the accessories and throw out the package. I try not to keep them. So tell me if you want to see that before I throw that out, because once I review one of these, it's down into the trash. Packaging, that is. So with that, let's take a look at the figure all around. And the sculpt work looks pretty good. Same as the Mr. Fantastic that I took a look at. It is painted fairly well, in the same spots as the previous figure, being the belt, the gloves, the nice emblem of the Fantastic Four logo. Unlike Mr. Fantastic, her collar and slight upper chest here is painted white. His was all blue, which it's nice that there's some distinction among them. Taking a look at the rest of the body here, just like Mr. Fantastic, they've painted the bottom of the feet, which is nice that they did. It doesn't cover the entirety, as it's actually a little bit better than Mr. Fantastic. It did cover more of the inner ridge here, but didn't quite cover all of it. So it's not the worst, but I mean, it's the bottom of the heel, so it's not too bad. The actual face print, I'd say it came out really clean. The sculpt of the hair is also very nice, though. Once we get into articulation, I wonder if it's gonna hinder it in any way. So with that, let's actually take a look at articulation. Starting at the head, you do get a disc with a ball joint connected to the head, which will allow for if you really force it that far down. Just be careful with the hair sculpt. You will most likely you will warp it, pushing it past its limit. And bring the head sculpt about that far back. You're not getting much again, just because of that hair piece. You do get a swivel, which will allow for you to turn the head. And you don't get a head tilt, just due to the nature of the joint. Moving on to the arms, you do get a hinge that allows you to bring the arm about that far up and that far down with a full rotation. You do get a upper bicep swivel, very nice, can go all the way. There's a very slight ratchet, very soft, like here to here. You can feel it when messing around with the actual joint. You do get a double joint at the elbow, which looks very nice, gets about that far. And you do get a hinge at the hand going about that far up, that far down, and a full rotation. Oddly enough, I didn't mention this with Mr. Fantastic, but he had a silver bracelet on his right arm, while the Invisible Woman has it on her left arm. Which, is it a floating piece? Let me see. If I pop out the hand, it is indeed a floating piece. So you could remove it if you wanted to. Taking a look at the other hand, there is no joint for this open palm, and that has to involve with its accessory. So you do get an open, this little big hole right there, so kind of unsightly if you didn't use the accessory, but bringing out the accessory right now, you do get an effect to replicate her ability to create an invisible shield that can stop projectiles, which is being shown off with the sculpt work of the shield. And of course, the peg to plug it in, which goes in fairly nicely. And it does look pretty good. This is one of the only effects you get with her, and I think it turned out fairly nice. Nothing much more to say about that, but if you did not want to use the accessory, you can always pop off the hand, and showing off the hands right now, because they are the last accessory, you do get a pair of, not fists, actually no, not a pair of fists, sorry. You get one closed fist for the right hand, and an open grasping hand for the left. I kind of wish they had sets of these, just to allow for different posing possibilities. Honestly, just for just to have. It is nice to have matching sets, but with that, you do have that pegged in. Fairly nicely painted, the same as before. Moving back to articulation, I kind of inserted the accessories in the middle of it, but oh well. You do get a ball joint at the torso here, which will allow for a full rotation that allows for that much of a tilt. Side to side. You aren't getting much forward bend, sadly. You do get a decent back bend, so there's that. And you also get a waist swivel. It does stick out just a tiny bit, but it does work as intended. You could also use the upper joint as a rotation for a swivel, but it doesn't look as nice as the waist one. Again, I would have preferred if they did another ball joint right here, just to allow for a greater range of movement, but it is what it is. No drop downs in the leg, which is fine by me. I think it just makes the figure more secure that way, but due to the sculpt work, you will get a slight angle with the kick out forward, so trying to keep that as parallel as possible. You get about less than 90, and you get about that much before being stopped by the sculpt work on the back. So not much range there, but you do get a pretty good split. You do in fact get a upper thigh joint for a rotation, which got stuck there for a bit. I was worried I was about to break it. If you get a figure that has that joint that's super tight and doesn't want to budge, but you know there is a joint, I suggest heating it up, safely, using either hot water or a hair dryer. Again, please do that safely. No sense trying to injure yourself over a figure. You do get a double bend at the knee, and that looks pretty good. And no rotation at the boot, but you do get a hinge that allows the foot to go that far down and about that far up, and you do get a rocker. which is pretty nice. And again, the sculpt work everywhere is just fairly clean, very nice. Again, probably one of my top costume designs for the MCU in terms of, I don't know, it just pops out and it looks quite nice. So with that out of the way, and I already got the accessories out of the way too, so yeah, let's just move straight on to size comparisons. I'm not even going to do a cut, I'm just going to go right into it. First off, we have the SH Figure Arts Boom Booncha Red, and I just lost a piece to his sword. Great. Doesn't matter, I'll find it afterwards. But yeah, carefully moving her a little bit more closer. They look to be almost the exact same height, which, let me see here. Yeah, just about. I'd say they're just about the same height. Moving on to the McFarlane Toys Superman from the Superman 2025 film, who is just absolutely dwarving the Invisible Woman. Again, anything McFarlane, it's going to be out of scale, 7-inch versus 6-inch, so there's that. Anyway, moving on. We have the Maximum Series Spider-Man, who is just slightly taller. Very nice indeed. Next up, we have the Mr. Fantastic from the same film, who, if his arm wasn't in the way, about a tiny bit taller than the Invisible Woman, if he wants to stand. Oh, come on. Well, work with me here. I can't tell if it's due to the weight of his extended arm, but there we go. Yeah, and again, they look very nice together. I like the small differences, of course, being the color piece being painted here versus not being painted on his costume. I wonder if there's a reason for that, or just to keep them different. But yeah, again, they look nice, and I'm really excited to see how all four members look all next to each other, side by side. But with that, for one final comparison, as always, the SH Figure Arts Rice Shower, who was just standing fine before. There we go. And again, she'll always be one of the smaller figures to compare to, but it's nice to have one figure be constant across all these reviews for the most part. But yeah, with that being said, yeah, it's a very nice figure. Not as impressed with it as I was with the Mr. Fantastic, but very nice overall. She has the articulation points where it's needed. It would have been nice to see just a little bit more. The accessories she comes with are nice, but again, would it have been so hard to include just an extra set of hands, or at least a matching set? Again, the shield that she comes with is very nicely sculpted, and I'm sure you can get more creative than just using it as a shield. I think I saw on Twitter someone use it as like a hovering effect for her, as if to fly. So I mean, you're only limited by your imagination, and my imagination is not that great. But with that being said, you can find her on retail for around $25. You can find her on any retail website, Walmart, Amazon, Target, Big Bad. I'm sure if you have a local toy store that you know of, they most likely should have it. Which, you know, if you can find her for that price, is very nice. Do not, if you're in real need for the figure, do not pay for the scalper prices. I don't think I've seen her go up as high as some others, but again, anything past 25 into the like 35, yeah, I would not. I would highly recommend not to spend that much. But yeah, with that being said, I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything left. So if you want to see more from me, I do live stream with a group of friends on HexHap. If you'd like to see some cool gaming videos, I'd highly recommend Commissar Yoraki. You'll find links to both of them in the description below. And with that, yeah, like, comment, subscribe if you want. You don't need to. Please do comment, though. I would love to interact with you guys. Have you seen the film? I know I will soon enough. And again, I really hope it's good. I'm hoping. I'm trying to keep away from spoilers. So, yeah. I've been Amato in the red, hoping to see you next time. Peace.